Hello. Hold on. Okay, now this should be good. Let me know if you can hear and see me. Oh my gosh. What's wrong with you, chair? What's wrong with you? I'm in team. I'm too short to use a chair with nothing added on it. So I have like 2 towels and a cushion just so it's a proper height. Ah, that's better. Alright. Hi Dan. Hi Tsukaboo. Hey Otto. Hi. Hi. Hey Ian. Hi. Tea. Delicious tea. Yeah, no, that's another issue. Like, it is adjustable, but it is weird to set up a chair that is adjustable when you're a really short person. Because the problem you encounter is that your feet don't touch the floor, and that's really weird and not great. Hey, Mikey and Ellen, hi! So nice to see everyone from the Discord server in the chat today. I hate buying chairs. It's so hard to find a chair that works for me. I might have put all the cushions, the towels and the cushion on top, because this chair is old and it was pretty like hard. So I added more cushioning for my butt. I would need a stool. I would probably need, you know, the kind of high chairs you had for industrial design. They were high chairs, but you had a circle or a space to rest your feet on the chair, and the table was much higher too. How was the vacation? It went great. I will be quickly showing the art stuff I got during my vacation, because I've hold on. What about the booster seat? I would need a booster seat, but I think my butt is too big for one. But a booster seat would work well. Maybe I should snag one, like from the theater or something. Movie theater. Oh. Yeah, thing is I saved up all my gift cards and money during the year, because I knew that during my vacation I would go to my favorite art stores in Quebec and would probably end up buying stuff. So I was pretty excited about that. Such a good plan. Yeah, especially for the gift cards, because they don't take them online. So I sort of have to save them up for when I visit, but I don't visit often because I'm always working. Though I did not pick up that much from there. But the thing is with art supplies is you don't necessarily pick up much, and it still costs $100. So yeah. Alright, let's put this aside. I will start. Is Quebec that much better than Montreal? Not really. I don't think either one is better. I think I really loved how much of how much Quebec is more bicycle friendly than Montreal. Hey, Serafina, hi. Oh, Fan Expo, nice. That sounds like a great one, to be honest. But yeah, Quebec has its perks, but Montreal has other perks. And all in all, I don't know. But yeah, my family is in Quebec, so that was the whole point of the vacation. To see my family and walk around. I will be putting together a video, assuming that my footage is usable. I got back like yesterday, so I'm not necessarily set up in everything. But yeah, okay, so let's get to it. I went to 2 art stores. One I consider the art store pilgrimage, and the other is just a store from the local chain. So the the pilgrimage one is called Zone, and the full name is Co-op Zone, and it's a cooperative, as the title implies, and it's basically the art supply school for the university. So they stock all the art things that will be necessary to art students for their semester or whatever. But they also, since it's a co-op, they have a model that if you buy into the co-op, you get access to discounts. You always have 2 prices on things. Like here, you have a price that's for members and one that is regular. So basically, you go there and if you buy into the co-op, if you buy a share, you always have the member discount. So that saves up a lot of money in the end. So I grabbed this pad of rough Arches paper because I wanted to try it, and I figured like I already used this paper, like the cold press. I've tried the hot press, it's not for me, but I wanted to try the rough one. So I got this. And as you can see, if you're a member of the co-op, it's $14.49, which is a bit over $10 US, which is a really good price for a pad of cotton Arches paper. The Toronto Fan Expo is always insane. I can handle a day, then I need 2 days to recover. Oh my gosh, yes. I know what you mean. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. We were at the register at the Co-op Zone, and I saw these, and I couldn't skip them. One of them is a happy little tree mints with Bob Ross, and you know this is gonna end up being a watercolor palette. Of course, it's a tin. It's gonna end up in something, but I mean it has Bob Ross on it, so I feel happy and inspired just looking at it. So I was like, I have to get this. I have no idea what the mints are worth in there. I haven't even unwrapped it, but I might just toss the mints. Yeah, it's rough paper. And then the other thing I saw that I was like, oh, I cannot skip on this one either. It's a Bob Ross playing cards game, but the thing is, and I'm gonna open it just to showcase it, but it's, hold on, come on. Okay, let's grab the thingy and rip off the thingy and remove the thingy. So yeah, what I really love of this playing cards set, whatever, anyway, this is that the cards have quotes on them. This is a happy place. Little squirrels live here and play. Didn't you know you had this much power? You can move mountains, you can do anything. I'm like, just let go and fall like a little waterfall. How can you not? This is like wisdom in playing cards format. How just amazing this thing is. I think each of us at some time in our life has wanted to paint a picture. How can you not want those? Anytime you learn, you gain I mean, you feel bad someday. You just grab a couple of cards out of this deck and you're like, hey, I feel better already. And I mean, they have like paintings on them, sure, but I mean, this wisdom, this is like condensed wisdom, and I was like, how, what is this? And yeah, Bob Ross. This is kind of a funny Photoshop, but yeah. If you eat too many mints, you will have a happy accident. Hold on, let me check. Depends if it has sugar alcohol in there. Well, you might. But it's made from sugar, so... Hey, Heather! Hi! Yeah, everyone needs that deck of card, I know. I know. It was a bit pricey considering it's a deck of card, but I mean... This is such a good idea. I mean... You have to have dark in order to show light, just like in life. I can't find the words. I just thought that this was like sort of necessary for the struggling days. Hey, Jacqueline, hi. All right, let's grab this. What else I got from Co-op? I got this, and let's go with these for now. Okay, so this is pretty boring. It's just more cartridges for the... Oh, that was one from when he lost his wife. Poor Bob. What a good guy, I mean... So yeah, basically just cartridges for this pen, because I always need more of these, so kind of a boring but necessary thing. This one is kind of more cool. It's a really teeny tiny Cicada brush with a really big sticker on it. Alright, let's remove this and just glue this here. Hey, Malvina! Hi! My favorite cosplay last year at Fan Expo was a kid as Bob Ross. Oh, that's so cute. So yeah, this is a size 6 brush. It is tiny. I have no idea what's the hair is supposed to be. It's still hard because I haven't rinsed it off. But I was like, that's a really good travel brush, I think. Hold on. Well, size 6 as a tip, that's a decent size, but the handle, it's like really minuscule. Hold on, let me grab a... This is a regular... what is it? This is a Casaneo. This is not what I wanted to pick up. Where are you, Cicada? Okay. So, this is a regular... Is that better? Yeah, I think that's better. So this is a regular size 6 Cicada Ultimo, and this is a size 6, I have no idea what. It says ceramic porcelain brush series 5506. Ah, Otto has met Bob Ross. That's so cool. Sakabu says, I saw one Bob Ross quote today. He said that someone told him he couldn't paint because he was colorblind. So Bob decided to paint a gray-toned monochrome painting to show anyone could paint. It was a really powerful, positive force in the art world. And yeah, we lost him way too early. What a shame. There's a really fun video on YouTube if you're curious about stuff, anything Bob Ross. It's about all the original Bob Ross paintings. And it's not a very long video. But it's really interesting, and they sort of show where all the Bob Ross paintings are and why there aren't any in the market for sale. You cannot buy a real Bob Ross painting, which is pretty cool in a way. Alright, the rest, hold on, let me sort this out quickly. So for some weird reason, the theme of this trip is Winsor & Newton watercolors. They were on clearance everywhere. Oh yeah, Otto, you found the link, cool! That's a really fun video, honestly. This is a bit, anyway. Okay. So yeah, as you can see from the huge 40% on the red sticker on these, they were on clearance. And well, when stuff is on clearance, you don't necessarily get to pick the colors, but let's see. Just 40% regular price. This is the older model of Winsor & Newton tubes. So this one is bismuth yellow, made in England, and the pigment is covered by a sticker. Did you watch it before, Otto? It was in my recommendations and I had to watch it like straight away. It was really interesting to see where all the paintings have gone. Yeah, I mean, it's paint on discount. I'm not gonna complain too much, but yeah, they really went hard on the stickers on everything. You couldn't read the pigment info, you couldn't read anything. So here is one, bismuth yellow, pigment is PY184. I am not sure I have this pigment in my stash of things. And there were 2 tubes of this one, so I grabbed them. As you can see, the member price was $24, regular price was $28. I'm being really careful with the knife. So yeah, it was 30% off on the $24, so it's still kind of expensive. But if I'm to buy Winsor & Newton, I will buy it when it's on discount like that, and that is still a Series 3. So it's a good price for Series 3, considering it's about what, $14–15 for this tube. That's still good. So I got these. There were another 14 ml tubes, which is brown ochre. This one was less expensive because it's a Series 1. Let's see if I can... Sorry about the heart attack. It's the easiest way to get under the 40% off stickers. They really didn't want those stickers to walk off on their own. How do you keep track of what watercolor paints you already have? Do you have phenomenal memory? I have very selective memory, I think. There's a lot of things that I don't remember, but I will remember lyrics from a song I haven't heard in 10 years, and I will remember weird things that don't necessarily make sense, and I'm kind of good at remembering what colors I have. There are some that I don't know, of course, I mean, come on. But I know that I don't have a lot of bismuth yellow. I might have it in the Renaissance tubes, maybe, if they have one. And I think... No, I don't think I have it in Daniel Smith. I think I mixed it with Queen of Talon yellow or something. Oh no! Hey, Omar, hi by the way. Oh no, why is M. Graham more expensive now? Crap. Dude, what are we supposed to use to paint then? Oh, this is bumming me out. Anyway, this is brown ochre. It's PBR7. And you guys know, PBR7, that's a good one. Yeah, bismuth yellow is really, really opaque. Which is kind of... I don't have... Well, I mean, these were all on discount, so you don't really get to pick what you want, but I was like, I kind of like having opaque paints every once in a while, so I grabbed those. And then I have a bunch of 5 ml tubes in the most recent packaging. They were all of them were 30% off. I don't know why these colors specifically, but this is Perylene Violet. And I was like, why is this on discount? It's a good one. So I have 2 tubes of Perylene Violet. What else is there? Magnesium Brown. The tape on these ones is a lot more manageable. They use like a really thin strip of tape. Well, I'm saying that, but of course it will not collaborate with me. Alright. So, Magnesium Brown, pigment PY 119. I don't think they still have this. Or it was not in the regular display of color, so I'm not sure why some colors were on sale. Hey, Grouchy, hi. The amount of stickers they decided was necessary is unnerving. Oh, I agree. Yeah, I was thinking of swatching these colors today. I don't know what you guys think of that. This is another brown ochre, I guess. PBR7 as well, so same as this technically. Here we have Naples Yellow Deep. I am familiar with Naples Yellow Deep. It's a really beautiful opaque pigment that is PBR 24. It's a really nice, warm, opaque beige brown color. Oh my gosh, what's with all the stickers? 40% off! Did you miss it? Seriously, guys. So swatch. Right, alright, I will be swatching these. And then I have Brown Matter. And I was like, you know, when I see like paints on clearance, I assume it's gonna be the colors that people don't necessarily go for. So usually that means all the opaque stuff or all the earth color stuff, and you know, I don't mind. I mean, paint is paint, and I'm gonna be using it. Like, so this one is BR206. It's in a really nice transparent color, and I was like, oh, this one and the Perylene Violet. I was really surprised to find them in the discount bin, because I don't really know why they ended up there. Kitties, Scout is fast asleep in the dryer. She picked up on the fact that the dryer was open and full of warm clothes, so she settled down there, and Peko has found a new nesting place in the wardrobes, so she's nicely tucked in there, nicely compact, and really happy. But if they show up, if they get up, I will be bringing them in, of course. Oddly enough, we went to eat somewhere when I was on vacation, and they were playing old Michael Jackson, and I was so happy. Okay, so this one is Venetian Red PR 101. So that's the kind of color I always expect to find in the discount bins. The really opaque, earthy stuff. And the last one is Light Red, which I think is also... This one is PR 102. So this one is a natural pigment, and this one is a synthetic pigment. So that's it for these. And I picked up a few things at Dessert as well. Oh yeah. So I picked up more paints. You know, when I said that the theme was discount Winsor & Newton, I am not kidding. They were having these on clearance, which I mean, this one was $6.41. Two of them were $6.41, and the other were almost $5. There were some of these colors that were available in bigger tubes at the other shop, but I mean, I had a budget too, so I couldn't grab every single one of them, even if I wanted to. But this one was Turner's Yellow. Series 3, made in France, pigment PY 216. So I grabbed 2 tubes of this one. And then I have some more magnesium brown that was on sale for $5. And I was like, yeah, that's a good price. So let's pair them up with this one. And the last one is another tubes of Naples Yellow Deep. So like this one. Yeah, it's like Winsor & Newton was going out of fashion. Everything else was super expensive, or well, regular price, which is super expensive. So yeah, these first things were at Co-op Zone, and the rest I got at Dessert, which is a Canadian chain of art supplies. That's the place where I had all the gift cards, so I could get in there and buy a bunch of things using my gift cards. You can already see what I got in there. Alright, so I grabbed 2 brushes and a few polychromos that I was missing. These are still $3 a pop, which is a bit intense. I don't know if you can see. Hold on, I'm gonna move the camera, so let's try to... Okay, yeah, you can see it here, right? I got this to store color pencils, so I will use them more. And I've got my selection of polychromos in there, and I've got my Laurentien pencils as well. So yeah, so I got a couple of more polychromos from open stock to help complete... Oops, sorry, that's a bit... let's whoop, like this. Okay, close enough. Hey Stephen, hi! So yeah, I got I got 10 open stock pencils, so that's like $30 in pencils, which kind of cracks me up. Because I'm like, yeah, artists are really rich after all, right? We can all afford $3 pencils. Otto says I can't get along with coloring pencil. It's a bit like with pastels. Oh my gosh. I want to give them a fair try, because I think they can complement what I do with watercolor well. But I haven't played with them a lot, especially because they were in a case that was tucked to the side and out of my way. Like they say, out of sight, out of mind. That was basically what was happening, so I never used them. And I had many different sets, so I did a big cleanup. I got rid of some, I gave them to a friend, and I kept only what I thought I was gonna use. So I kept the polychromos and I kept the Laurentien. And I want to see if I use them more. And if I do, well, awesome. And if I don't, well, I might relocate these at some point. I don't know why they put all of these bloody stickers on those. Always near here, and you cannot leave them on because they will mess up your sharpener something fierce. Alright. Ah, good. Yeah, paints are really expensive. Like, I had to save up a bunch of, you know, uh, gift cards and monies, like money gifts. The pencils were $3 a pop, so I got 10. That's that's $30 worth of pencil. I can't. I mean, sure, I got them open stock, and that's not the most cost-efficient way to get these. But oh my god, what? Okay, I got this brush. It's from Royal and Langnickel, and I really like Royal and Langnickel because they make good brushes that are really affordable. My workhorse brushes for whatever swatching I do, they are these. I have two of these. The Zen Royal and Langnickel. This is a round size 8, and they cost about $3 or $4 each. And like they still work perfectly fine. Like I can swatch them, they keep their point. I'm so glad I did, Otto. And I got this one, speaking of, I got this really rough bristle one because I saw Otto used one to clean up her palette, and I was like, this is so clever. I was like fighting my paints and rubbing them with my fingers, and I would get like, you know, painter hands that are like all the colors in the world, and I saw Otto use a scrubby brush. Like, it's just bristle, so it's not gonna scratch anything, but it's still stiff, so you can clean your palette. And I was like, she's onto something. Oh, I'm so glad you like it. I'm really glad you like the Royal and Langnickel brushes, because oh my gosh, I can send you more whenever you want. There are like, you know, even the really big ones I gave you, they're the same price as the smaller ones. They don't discriminate on the brushes, and they are really nice brushes. They are nice and soft, and I know this is like imitation squirrel-ish, but it's really good, and it's like $3-4 for a brush, and I'm like, how do they make their money on those? I don't understand. Yeah, the Zen brushes, they're really, really good, and they come with a scrubby, and they're like, I mean, I am not kind to these brushes, and they still, I don't know. I have no idea how they are so cheap. It's mind-boggling. Because they are really good. Like, this one was also like a couple of dollars. Hold on, let me, I gotta have the receipt somewhere. I got a great pile of receipts. Which one is up there? That's the kind of receipt that is hard to miss. I mean, it's written Dessert on it in huge letters. Hold on, let's see. Hurt my knee though. Bloody heck. Yeah, and you know, the paints on discount, they were even more discounted, perhaps because there were some you can be like a member of their creative club, and sometimes there are discounts. I went to shop at Dessert. Hold on, let me get back this place. It used to be called Omer Dessert, which is a local guy who created this art supply store chain in Canada. Oh, are you for real, Otto? Did you check on Dessert if they have them? Because that's where I got them. Hey, Anastasia, hi. Hi, Askia. They don't deliver to the UK, but let me know and I will set you up something. Hold on, what was I looking for? Oh yeah, the price of the brush, hold on. Peso, Madonna. Yeah, okay, this one. That was $3.99. The end. And it's a nice brush. It's a, you know, it's not shabby. Oh, you've never been to the Sault? It's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think the Sault delivers outside of Canada, sadly. And I got this small Raphael precision brush. You saw them. Ouch. When I. Darn it. Oh my gosh. It's. Alright, so yeah. I've showcased these. Oh, I got the same size I already had. Good job, me. Anyway. Yeah, I thought I was missing a size 2, but apparently I was missing a size 1 in the precision brushes, so now I have 2 size 2. I mean, it's gonna be one of the sizes I use the most, so I'm not really bummed about that, but I thought I was completing my selection of flats, and I wasn't. Alright, so that's that. Alright, let me switch things around so I can get set up to swatch the paints and the pencils. And yeah. I need paper. Hey, Helen, hi. I'll start with the polychromos just so I can put them aside when I'm done. Alright. First one is middle purple pink. I had taken a picture of my polychromos chart before I left so I could reference it at the store and see which colors I was missing. Hey, Cyan, hi! It's not too bad in terms of, you know, color of the pencil and color of the lead. Second one is Hooker's Green. Needlepoint brushes. Are they like these? That's kind of far, Heather. Heather says, nearest dessert to me is in Oakville, Ontario. Over 900 miles, 1500 kilometers. I'm gonna try to do these quickly because it's not exactly super thrilling. Violet. Thank you for having a short name. Oh my gosh, it's still sticky. Ugh. Oh, so that's it. That's a needlepoint. Okay. I haven't played with it a lot yet, but it looked really interesting for making lines. Because it has like a really big sort of barrel, but then it has a really long... I don't think this one has been softened. Has it been softened? Should be. Yeah. So I think the hair in the middle is a bit stiffer, and around here you have fake squirrel, so it's a bit... it holds more water. Hey Lena, hi! The theme of the stream is I'm back from vacation. I'm just sort of sharing what I got, what I was able to find on sale and whatnot. Also, the design I went to had some of the gray polychromos, and I've been having sort of a harder time finding these, so I was glad to grab a few of these. These are really useful neutral colors. So this one is the same but 2. And this one is probably 6. Yeah. So that's it. I will be adding them to any random space for now. Get in there. And we will move on to paints. Right. Oh my gosh. What is this? I am leaking. Ugh. We have a bleeder. We have a bleeder. Got their eyes. Ew. This is sticky. Sorry, I'm having fun with this catastrophe. What's up with that? What happened? Oh, I think it has a teeny tiny hole in the corner there. Yeah, look at that. We've got a bleeder. Potterize. Catcher. Aw. Eat the paint before it dries in the tube. Well, maybe not. Ew. I will be swatching from this one rather than the one that is not perforated. It's just dirty, right? It was just dirty. Oddly enough, it didn't make a mess, like in, well, I hope so, in the container or... Let's check it out. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Oh, gosh darn it. Yeah, it's not, it doesn't have a lot of pressure, thankfully. But it's still leaky. Leaky gut syndrome. Wait, hold on, what did I miss? Did Cyan break? Cyan, did you break your back? What? Hold on, I missed it. Oh my gosh. Cyan, what happened? I did not fart, so it wasn't me. Cyan, how did you break your back? Oh my gosh. I should grab a few. We are all expectantly looking at the chat. Holy crap. Cyan says, I was running with my dog Ruka. He was on runner's belt and then he suddenly spotted cat before I did and he dashed after cat. And it pulled me into the air. Oh my god, what? I am so sorry about that, Cyan. I had a panic release on belt, but it was stuck. Oh, what? That sounds like a good lawsuit. Wow, I'm really sorry about that. Ruka doesn't know any better. He doesn't know how big he is. He doesn't know that his mommy is a teeny tiny thing. I got kind of a really watery drop of this one. A lot of binder in it, so I don't know if I can get something a bit more, yeah, meaty. Come on, give me some paint meat. Good. That's a bit more interesting. Yeah, I hope you are lucky enough that you will heal quickly, Cyan. And that it's possibly not the worst of breaks. I mean, it's never good, but... Oh my gosh, what a nightmare. I chose the two more transparent colors on purpose to swatch first, which is the Perylene Violet and the, what do they call this one? Brown Matter. The first color is Perylene Violet. Honestly, all the Perylene colors are really amazing. Perylene Violet, Perylene Green, and Perylene Maroon, I think. Winsor & Newton's Perylene Maroon is one of my favorite. It's a really, really nice color. Okay, moving on to really opaque stuff. This is Venetian Red. Yeah, I agree. All the Perylene colors are really amazing. You can already see just how more opaque this one is. Yeah, Perylene Maroon is amazing. I know Winsor & Newton, they get really bad. They get a lot of flack, but their green gold and their Perylene Maroon are really, really worth looking into. Oh no! Heather is stuck holding a cat. That's not too bad, is it? That's the one thing though that struck me when I was on vacation is I went through cat withdrawal. I was without cats for like 3 days. I saw some. I spotted a couple of strays, but it's not the same thing. I could not pet them. Lee says, I think Winsor & Newton seem like just very lovely colors. It's the marketing people and the people behind that are below pro tier. Yeah, some of their colors are really weird. Like, their sap green, I don't know why, but I find it really weak. And that really bothers me. But, yeah, they have other colors that are really, really striking and really nice. By the way, hi, Lise. And Sia, hi. Okay, next let's try magnesium brown. Oh, this one got all juicy. It's really sticky, so I think the I must have messed up when I removed the sticker. No, that one had the sticker on. I don't know what happened. Come on. Blob of paint, thank you so much. Looks like a really thick color. Let's PY 119. I think that's one of the colors that Otto reproduced with Holbein. Because Holbein also had a magnesium brown, but they stopped producing it. And I think Otto showed us how to mix it from other Holbein colors. Definitely a paint that a little goes a long way. I'm trying to dilute the wash and I can't. Alright, where's this one? Brown ochre will be next. Oh yeah, it was Mars brown, but I think it's the same thing. I think it's the isn't it the same pigment? Mars brown and magnesium brown. There was a brown color that Holbein used to do and they don't do anymore. Well, brown. That kind of... Yeah, that's brown. Fair to say, that's brown. Okay. Daniel Smith calls their brown ochre goethite. I'm not sure it's part of the Primathic range. Oh, have a great dinner, Elena. I don't know why I started with the strongest colors. Well, I said I wanted to start with the transparent ones, but that means I'm leaving myself this kind of water for the yellows, which is kind of stupid. In character, I guess. Naples Yellow Deep. It's not bad to say, Grouchy. You're allowed to have any kind of personal impression of the paints. I mean, that's fine. I think that if one is using them from the tube, they kind of fare better than possibly from extruded pans. Because they are rather nice. I mean, if you are seeing that because it looks like all I have is opaque colors, that's not the paint, that's the pigment. And I chose a bunch of paints. Well, all the discounted paints were the one with really opaque pigments. So not exactly a surprise. I knew what I was getting. But I mean, this is a really nice color. That Perline Violet is really, really, really legit. That's kind of a cool consequence of that, Cyan. Cyan says, my local art stores sells Winsor & Newton, but their stock is so old that almost everything is made in England. In this case, that's kind of cool. That works for you. You might even get some exclusive colors that are no longer made. Oh, you find a UK website that does Zen. I hope they are a decent price. Ellen says Jean Haynes came out with the master set by Daniel Smith and it has opera pink. I read it is highly fugitive. What color could be substituted in its place? You don't have any real substitute for opera pink, which is probably why it's in the set, because I think if Jean Haynes could find a light fast replacement for opera pink, she would definitely be using it. That still means that the color is fugitive, so that's still the issue, but there's not really any pink that has the vibrancy of opera that is light fast. There are many great pink pigments though. Some PV19s are really lovely, PV42 is lovely as well. What else? I think a lot of the opera paints are made with PR 122 and fluorescent dye. So you could look at plain old PR 122 maybe. Hey Steve, hi! Oh my gosh, $2.50 per little tube. That is such a good bargain. I have a rose doré tubes that also lists PY19 instead of PV19, and it cracks me up pretty bad. They have a couple of typos like that on the Winsor & Newton tubes, and I'm always laughing because I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Oh my gosh, I would grab, I mean, $2.50 a tube. That is really nice. I would rob that store if I could, as much as I could. I don't want to end up with too much of this, but this is a really big tube. Which pigment is Isaro Pink? Winsor & Newton at least lists white pigments, which I appreciate so much. Are there companies that don't? Like professional company? Well, if you mix... Thing is you get transparent pinks, which you won't get if you mix kind of a cold red with white. You will get a very muted opaque color, which is not necessarily what one wants. I think it's PR122. Okay, that's a good one. They said I could have sale rack. If I had the space, I would be hounding the stores for their sales rack just to store my paints, because oh my gosh, my paint storage makes no sense. Well, it makes sense, but it's basically one of those plastic drawer units, and it's full, and it's gotta weigh about 50 pounds of paint. It's just insane. But it's convenient. It's just kind of funny when you think about it. Oh wow, Steve, that's so cool. Duplicates, oh my gosh. I was thinking, you know, I have a bunch of paints, and I was wondering if there was a way I could possibly share some of it, because I got enough paint that I will definitely not necessarily run out in my life. And I mean, even if I were to run out, I could eventually just buy new paint, like replacement tubes. That's not, you know, it's not the end of the world to have to buy more paint. So I'm trying to think, like, what kind of format would be interesting. So yeah, I'm sort of trying to think of something, but having not necessarily any great insight. Or bismuth yellow. It's like with the Renaissance paints. They're really good, and I have the whole set, so maybe I should see about setting up dot cards maybe, or how should I... Otto says a lottery goodie bag. That's kind of cool. But I don't know, should I include like extra tubes, or should I possibly try to make really generous dot cards that you have enough paints to do something with them? So I'm a bit unsure. I ended up with a selection of colors that I feel is really me in a way. Doesn't have any blue. I like all the colors, but I find that I often gravitate towards these sort of warm, muted-ish colors. I love how granulating the magnesium brown is. I'm so glad I grabbed all these tubes of it. It's the only granulating color in there, and they are all opaque except for brown matter and perylene violet, which is what I expected. Hey Barbara, hi. It's Winsor & Newton, yes. You say that like that's a bad thing. I hope it's not. Yeah, I see a lot of cat colors and tones. That's a really good point. All right. Ellen says, "Oh, the horses I could paint with these colors." that's a that's pretty fair. Heather says, that would be so cool and amazingly generous. I like the dot card idea since more people could enjoy them. That's what I'm thinking. And in the sense, dot cards are really easy to mail out, so it's not crazy expensive to ship out. Which, I mean, it is part of the equation as well. If I have to ship out stuff, I have to consider shipping. And shipping in Canada is gnarly. Hold on. Is the brown matter as close to the PR122 as it look on my screen? Probably not. It's really, it's kind of sort of more red, more transparent version of Venetian red. Yeah, birds, that's true. That's really true. Yeah, those are very bird-friendly colors. Alright. I'm open to suggestions for how to proceed if you guys have things you would like to see. Ah, Heather, you're too kind. Thank you so much. That's really awesome. All the tubes are here. Oh, yeah, hold on. Let me get stupid me. I will grab the let's grab some PR122 swatch. There. So this here is Brown Matter by Winsor & Newton, and this here is Quinacridone Magenta by Winsor & Newton, which is also PR122. Yep, in screen would be better. Speaking of sending out things, I still have a bunch of old pet drawings that haven't been claimed, really. Ellen says, here I am patting around frantically looking for my paintbrush. Gave up, went to the restroom, look in the mirror, it's behind my ear. Ooh boy. I know the feeling. My brain. Darn it. I know I got up for a reason. What was it? Oh yeah, the animal. Hey Barbara, I'm doing good. The cats are doing good. Well, they seem to be. They are sleeping. Scout is having a bit of a rougher time with her allergies, but that's the nature of allergies, I guess. Alright, so I know I have a couple to send to... This is for Heather, I know. This would be for Grace. I think this is Jacqueline's cat. Hold on. Well, I tried. This is possibly not a great one, but I have a Bubba for cat. Crystal. I have a bunch to send to Heather. Crystal again. I have a puppy. This is I know who. Crystal again, because Crystal was feeling really ill at some point and we drew her a lot to send good waves. This is Sunny, Tiffany's cat, and Desmond as well. And I have a Socks, and another Duggo, and Sue, that's for Grace as well. And a Leo, and a Luna, and a Dante, and more. A Bun Bun, a Dory, Crystal again. I need to sort of cut. Spaz. Yeah, so bunch of kitties. If you spot, well, you didn't see anything because I'm awfully off camera. Whoop. There you go. So I will be sort of isolating these, and if you want them, I will happily send them. I mean, these fit in a regular letter, so it's really not an issue to send them out. But otherwise, they are sort of... Yeah, I guess I did a second Dory. If you spot any of your pets, you can send me an email with your address. My email is boltsvolt all together, no spaces, no apostrophes, no nothing, at gmail.com. And if you want any of these, just write me an email and send me your address and I will mail them out, no problem. So yeah, Bun Bun is Cyan's bunny. Dory was Dan's hamster. And I drew, like I said, I drew a bunch of Crystal because she went through a really rough pass. And to try and send good energy her way, I drew her a couple of times, and then a Havoc here, and Leo and Luna and everyone. So yeah. Thanks for putting the email in the chat, Otto. So yeah, by all means, send me an email, send me just a quick note and your address, and I will put these in an envelope and mail these out. I got way too many drawings, and it's not that I don't want to keep them, it's just that I physically can't. And I wonder at some point if I should just make a sale event where I put up a bunch of original small paintings of things like the Adventure Cat or something, because I have a really big stack of these. And I'm like, I don't know what I... Not that I don't like them, but I scanned them, and then I'm like, well... I could keep them, but like I said, my stack is like getting pretty big. Like this is just like, this is not even a month of stuff with demos and live streams and whatnot, and all of these ended up. I have a bunch of these. I am not. I need to be back on the paint making wagon. I have two that I tried making, and they've been a bit problematic. I will fish them out. Hold on. Ah, there they are. How's it looking up? It's not so bad. What about these? This is those that I have in the dryer at the moment, if I can say that. Can I get a piece of scrap paper that makes sense? Oh no, Heather. Okay, so I tried making pipestone and volkonskoit. No idea how to say that. It's like like that. Both are a tiny bit harder paints to re-wet. Yeah, I cannot say that 10 times fast. And the other is Catlin. I assume that's possibly how to say that. Pipestone. What was that about the pictures? I showed, I don't remember where I put them. Oh, I put them back, but I had a bunch of animal pet sketches that I had done in the past and that still had not been claimed. So I was saying that if you see pictures of your pets in there, like drawings of your pets, and you would like to have them, just write me an email and I will, with your address ideally, and I will put them in an envelope and send them out. And Dan says, I tried to make hematite today and it was a nightmare. I know what you mean. These were not necessarily super fun to make. And I was really bummed out originally, but then I thought, you know, they didn't turn out how I wanted, but can they still be interesting on their own? And I think they can. So I didn't toss them out. I gave them like a second round of testing, and I tried to adjust. And I think they could be interesting. Like this color is really the Volkonskoit is kind of a bit more difficult. It's a bit like a green earth color in that it really has pore tinting strength, and it's kind of easy to have it be streaky because it's with the binder, the transparency and the graininess of the pigment, that's what happens. And the other one, Catlin, was a bit better, but it's still very rough. Both are really rough paints. Like when they are dry and you touch the paper, it feels a bit like sandpaper. This one is a bit like a potter's pink, but it's less granular, possibly. Yeah, it's a bit like terre verte, but it's still a bit more vibrant than some of the terre verte that I've seen. And the Catalan is also kind of a really nice muted pink color, but they're both sort of, they were difficult to mold and to prepare. So I initially felt sort of bad about selling these because I was like, this did not turn out like I wanted. But then I thought, well, perhaps that's because it's the way it is supposed to turn out anyway. I looked at swatches of other paint makers of their pipestone color, and I was like, you know, it's similar. So I was thinking I will anyway fill out some pans with them, see how they dry out. Like the green is kind of a difficult one to dry properly, it cracks a lot. And I will try to adjust that and make it look good, and then I will possibly add them to the store, but at maybe a special price, which is kind of problematic because these were not like cheap pigments. They were on the more expensive side of things. So I will see. I mean, I like them, but it's hard to see what other people will like or not. So that's where I stand with those, but I need to get back to making more paints. Like things that I know are possibly more pleasant to create and play with, like the Spanish gold ochre, and I really need to take a break from expensive pigments for a while, unless I've already tried them and I know what to expect. That I could possibly do. Like if I wanted to make some more Vivianite, I possibly would, because I know what to expect and I really like that pigment, but it's super expensive. So yeah, I think I will go to my stash and try to stick to more known entities for now, rather than to try and attempt to make something out of things I am not familiar with and then be disappointed when it sort of doesn't pan out properly. This one bothers me the most. I don't like this streakiness. It happens with all the green earth pigments as well, though, I gotta say. And they both, like when I was mulling them, they both had they both stayed grainy for a really long time, and I really mulled them like for a long time, and I was like, why is this graininess not going away? But I think it's just part of it, possibly. Anyway, that's where I stand on this. Oh, I'm glad to see that my fellow paint makers in the chat know what I mean, and they know that feeling. Oh, you're right, Heather. That was exactly it. I had one drawing of Havoc, one of Spaz, and a few of Crystal, from back when she had her big wound and all that. It might be a bit uncomfortable to have them. I don't know if it's how sensible that is, but I still have them. So, like I said, if anyone wants their pets, just send me an email and I will happily put them in the mail. Mayo? I haven't seen it in the pile. Alright, let's put these back in the pseudo dryer. I tore through my dragon's hoard of art-related everything. Oh my gosh. That might change your opinion of me. Oh, it's nightmarish. Like, I'm fine with it, but I'm also really aware that for people outside of me, it doesn't make any sense. But I'm like, this is my pile of stuff. I know where everything is. It makes sense to me. But everyone else is like, oh, they get in here, they get into the studio, and more often than not, the reaction is like, whoa, okay, you have a bunch of things. I'm like, yeah, I know. I am aware of it. I know that's none of their business, but I can't exactly stop them from reacting to the pile of stuff. It's good practice for my shell, my hard shell of being impervious to that kind of comments. I'm like, yeah, I know, it's a bunch of things. But the funny thing is the last person who said that was my dad, and I was able to reply, well, those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw the first stone, because my dad, I got my dragon hoarding skills from someone, and that's my dad. So I hoard paints, he hoards other things. So I was like, you are one to talk, mister. Oh, I remember Mayo, Heather, but I don't think I saw her in the pile of drawings that I just went through. The only sort of calico-ish kitten in there was Havoc. But I feel like I've drawn Mayo before, but I don't know where that drawing went. People come in and despair that I have paintings on the floor. I'm like, it's my paintings. I can have them wherever I want. I so agree, Otto. I've had so many things dry on the floor when I can. You know, it's like, well, I gotta use the space I have, guys. And it's not gonna be forever. It's just while it's drying up, you know. If I pile them up, they're gonna smudge, and that will defeat the whole purpose of painting them. And like I said, I've did a lot of cleaning recently. I've got rid of a bunch of things, but it still is pretty intense, pretty dense in here. Horizontal storage. Yeah, that's piles, right? That's what floors are for, I agree. Like, it's mostly fine. The only way in which this is problematic is when we have to vacuum. That's the only moment where the clutter with quotes, oh, Heather, you know I would never throw out a drawing of Mayo. Oh my gosh, you know I would never do that. It might be in the pile of things somewhere that I haven't. Like, at some point I was cleaning out and I had drawings of pets a bit everywhere, so I tried to regroup them in a thing, but I might have missed a few. Dude, I am not one to forget cats. I cry so much at mentions of sad cat stuff. It's really a problem. It's like, I can function except when it comes to sad cats stories. That's when I stop functioning. That's my original 4-4. Fail. Trying to think of what else I could oh my gosh, sad pet stories. Well, it really depends. Like, it will always be sad, but there is really something about sad cat stories that instantly destroys me. Like, it just breaks me. I need like a split second and I'm gone. I'm like broken. I can do a tiny bit better when it's other pets. Like, it will not break me. I will be terribly sad, but I will not be broken in pieces. But I don't know what it is about cats that just gets to me a million times faster and a million times harder. It's just like bam, and I'm like, why? So I will watch the sad cat stuff if I know it ends well. That's the only sort of thing that I can stomach. But everything else is, oh my gosh. It's kind of worse when you realize that the sad part of the poor pet's story is due to humans. And you're like, oh yeah, that's right, we are garbage. Womp womp womp. But yeah, let's find something happier to. Alright, let's draw something. There you go. Piece of paper, pencil. Here, I know what I'll be doing. I will draw the 4 cats that I saw on vacation. I saw, in total, I counted them because that's important stuff for me. I saw 7 cats. I saw, well, 6 of them were strays. 1 of them was in the window of a cat cafe. Oh no, Heather! Heather says, knowing what was to come, I cried at the opening credits of The Lion King when I watched the original in the theater. Aww. Really? That's so cool. Helen says, I just read an article about how horses can tell different human facial expressions and will adjust their behavior accordingly the next time they see that person. Animals are just so good. They really are wholesome. So yeah, I saw a bunch of stray cats. The first one I saw was rolling around on the floor. Then I saw the one in the cat cafe. Then I saw 3 of them in an empty lot. Then I saw another one in the underground. Well, not underground, but the parking space. And then we saw a last one when we were driving in my dad's neighborhood and it was walking on the sidewalk. So I saw a bunch of cats, but the 4 of them that were in the empty lot and the parking space one, they were so much like strays. They were used to living outside, you could tell. One of them was insanely roughened up. An old ginger kitty. Oh yes, that little pure white. So that kitty was adorable. They're gonna get it stolen from them if they keep letting it go outside. I mean, That cat needs a collar or it's gonna be stolen so fast. Oh yeah. Oh, that is heartbreaking, Steve. Steve says people drop off animals at the farm thinking they can take care of themselves. They are not equipped, and it's always heartbreaking. They will not understand why they are being abandoned. And yes, most of them will be waiting for their humans to come back. Yeah, you can rehab a feral. I've seen it. If you wanna check out a good channel for cat rehab, TNR, or rescue thing, check out Flatbush Cats. They are really good because they really have an informative angle to their videos as well, and they work in New York. So the cats there, they have it kind of rough. And they've shown like things like when they rehabbed feral kitties, and when the cats they take in to help and heal and then find a good home. Thank you so much for the link, Otto. Otto put the link to their channel in the description. They film really beautiful images, and it's never the stories are rough because these are feral cats that need help, but they always end in a good way. You know, the cats are gonna find a forever home after that, and they're gonna be like better. Oh, that's awesome, Steve. Steve says we feed whoever shows up. All God's creatures are welcome. Oh, well, I'm glad. That's nice. That makes me happy. Cicada says, we had an old tabby who had some bad behaviors, but we didn't abandon him at our old place. We took him with us when we moved because he was our cat. Yeah, that's the whole point of being sort of a pet owner. You don't just drop the cat, well, it's often cats. I don't think people drop dogs just as much. Not over here in anyway. Perhaps in rural areas, but here this is still a city, so whenever there is a dog that has no owner, that never lasts very long. They usually get picked up. Oh, that's cool. Cicada says he was an excellent hunter and kept our place pest-free while he was still alive. Oh my gosh, a few decades ago, people dropped dogs on the Autobahn. Drop dogs on the Autobahn were a real problem. Oh my gosh. That's like a really huge highway, isn't it? That's not a place where you abandon a pet. Unless you want them to get squished. I mean, what the heck? Hey, good job done on finishing the scarf. Yeah, most shelters don't give dogs for adoption before Christmas, so they aren't given as gift. That's a good one. I love also when shelters don't allow adoption of black cats around Halloween. Yeah, also love pet shops that won't sell bunnies around Easter. Yep, I agree. That's the thing, is a lot of people who want to adopt a pet, I think there's a lot of work of information that doesn't get done in a way. Like some places, some shelters, they will just refuse people for pets, which is silly. But the thing is you just gotta possibly just inform them of stuff. Like people who get an adult cat, you need to, like, I've seen a lot of people sort of, they want to control the animal and the way the animal reacts in this new place, and it's not necessarily the best approach. Oh, sorry, hiccups. I need some tea. Sorry. So I can't say for dogs because my experience of dogs and behavior and all of that is really limited. But I know that for cats, if you are welcoming a cat into a new place, you sort of gotta let them do their cat things, and they will move at their own pace, and you gotta respect that. That's the thing with cats. You cannot force them to do something they're not ready to do. So some cats will stay hidden for a while. Some cats will be ready to walk around and explore. Some cats will, it's never the same thing. And I don't think a lot of people are necessarily aware that that's normal. That, yeah, sure, it's been a while since the cat spent the whole night hidden somewhere. That's fine. That's his first night. Just let the cat do its thing. And like that's not what people are used to. We are used to getting kittens, and kittens are like all over the place and really energetic and like really present. But that's not the case for all the cats, especially cats from a shelter that might have spent time outside and were really used to a rougher life, and they get into a shelter first and then they get into a house, and they don't have time to really understand their cats. You cannot explain to them what's going on. They don't they don't work like that. They don't get human language. So yeah, you just need to trust the cat. But a lot of people get really nervous because and I know I can understand that feeling too. Like it's when you have a new cat and they do something and you're like, are they fine? Are they okay? I cannot ask them. The cat spent the night hidden somewhere. Is it okay? Is it fine? Is it hurting? Should it eat? Should it come out? But what should I do? And that's just weird, that's not what we are used to. Lana says it's suggested for dogs too, to let them acclimate to the new apartment. When Dante came home with us, we left him alone and let him explore. It was all cuddly then already. Aww. He's a good boy. Oh, bye, Steve. Thank you so much for being here. If I could, I would stay. Aww. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Otto says, heck, with the hamster you have to leave it completely alone. Preferably the room the cage is in alone for a good 3 to 4 days. Yeah, that's also a very good point. Heather says, in my opinion, adult cats should be introduced a room at a time. I like to start in a bathroom if it's large enough that the cat can get away from me if they wish. Bathroom are really a good room to start because it's usually super convenient to have the litter box in there. It's easy to clean because it's usually made that if there's some water problem, you can, like, you won't see a lot of rugs in bathrooms, hopefully. And yeah, it's a small enough room and you can easily change water and have everything the cat's like needs in this room, and you don't need to be in the bathroom that often, technically. And then when you get used to it, you expand a bit to there. But that's the thing. I feel like places that some shelters, they don't necessarily impart that knowledge to the people who come in to adopt animals, and it can be really nerve-wracking when you don't know what to expect. And have several hiding places for Kitty. I agree. Otto said, Otto said that, like the hamster, you have to leave it alone in its cage for a good 3-4 days. And Lana asked, but you have to feed it. And Otto says, yeah, you just leave it lots of food at the start. Hamsters are very good at self-regulating their food. I've never had a fat hamster. Well, hamsters all look fat, but never anything that is overweight for a hamo. It cracked me up. I love hamsters. They're tiny little cute balls of fluff. Oh, Misha, I'm sorry about the ramen. I like ramen. I mean, I understand that the perspective of eating that a lot for a while is not necessarily exciting. But there's a couple of ways to make it a bit more interesting, depending on what you like and what you can eat. Things that are inexpensive, like adding a bunch of spice in it, that can be one thing. Or sometimes you can keep a few of the noodles, like the bits that are broken up, and you sprinkle them on top of the bowl of ramen at the end, so you have a bit of crunch in your ramen. What else have I seen that is kind of cool? And, well, some popular add-ins that are not exactly super pricey are eggs, canned tuna, or beans. You can add in some beans in your ramen that might make them a bit more different. Otto says, Maria, my girl cat I adopted at 10 years old, she had a look around the house, sat herself on the sofa, meowed till I sat down next to her, and she threw herself onto my lap, and that was that. But she was a very special cat. Yeah, that's the thing. You have to let the cat do its thing. So if the cat is like, well, I want some pets right now, well, that's ideal, but some cats will be like, I need to hide in a room for a bit, and you gotta be like, okay, that's also fine. Your food is there, your litter box is there, you've seen it, and I'm over there. So if you feel like getting scritches and human interaction, well, come see me. Otherwise, do your cat thing. I feel a strong kinship with Jazz. Otto says, I just know Jazz will turn into a carb junkie if I give her spaghetti. She loves food she's supposed to only have small amounts of. I know that feeling, Jazz. I know it. I need to get on the diet again. Winning the lottery would also be nice. Hey, do you guys buy lottery tickets just out of curiosity? Jazz, we know. Eats chocolate. Yeah, that's exactly it. Or just spaghetti, you know. Carbs are really delicious. I mean, we are made to appreciate carbs because they are like easy access energy. I only bought lottery tickets when I was poor actually. I needed that little dream. I don't buy lotto ticket. I put that money in my tax-free savings account. Better odds. Oh my gosh, that is so true. Once in a great while, but I'll buy scratch-off just for fun. The scratch-offs are really fun. Your cats are so mischievous, Heather. Heather says, oh my gosh, the cats put my sock that I left by the bed in their water bowl. What have they been doing? That sock needed to be drowned, and you know. Plotting to take over the world. Oh my gosh. It was an evil sock. It had to be put into the water. Otto says, I buy them every time you and I talk about one of us. Have to come see the other, then travel the world. Yeah, that's always a good incentive. I always feel like, well, maybe I should give it a try whenever we talk about that stuff. Like, I know, I can rationalize that it's not, the odds are really not in your favor, but then again, you are possibly, statistically, you're better off with a minuscule, ridiculous chance than none at all. So I guess that's what they bank on anyway, but they're not wrong in that. I mean, it's not a good chance, but one chance is better than none, right? Oh, I need to keep in mind the thing about this sock being in the water bowl. If I can make that into a drawing someday or a scene or something, that would be so funny. Like we did the other day with the rat, the bat and the cat and the pumpkins. Yeah, that's it. With the lottery, someone will win, technically. that didn't go well. That was not a good inking moment. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about the cicadas. There's a lot of them on our yard. Hold on. Ellen says, I've been hit by lightning indirectly twice, still haven't won the lotto. Just saying. Oh, wow. Dude, how did that happen? But yeah, we have many cicadas on our yard because I think they like the terrain and the ground, the composition of the ground. And I always see them like coming out and walking towards the walls so they can climb them and sort of evolve to the version with wings. But the thing is that the wasps have picked up on that, and the wasps will patrol over the lawn trying to spot the cicadas that are trying to walk to the walls. So a couple of times I've sort of intervened and grabbed a couple of cicadas and put them on the wall instead. Then you see them climb, and then you see them evolve, and eventually the empty shell just falls down. They look really dumb, cicadas, I'm sorry, but they're kind of like a hammer shark, in the sense that when you look at them, like the cicadas, they have like this, probably not on camera, but they have like this sort of shape of head, roughly, like, and the eyes are really on this side here, so they remind me of you know, the sharks with the eyes over here. That kind of cracks me up. Oh wow, Ellen! Shit. What? That's insane. Wow. I am glad that you were fine. Whoa. I'm glad you like the gang of cat. Emily's. Hey, King Gobaka. King Baka? Hi. Oh wow, Ellen. Ellen adds that it's being hit by lightning seems to run in the family. Her grandmother was hit once and an uncle. Her son was hit 3 times. Wow. Did they all made it? Like were there any consequences? I mean, you would think that being hit by lightning is kind of a big dangerous thing, but I mean, if someone is hit thrice, they gotta be okay at some point. It wasn't that bad. Whoa. Wow. Okay, that's pretty cool. Perhaps that's a good way to recharge. Like your battery is running out and then you get struck by lightning and then it refills the battery and you're good for many more years. Hey, Bearish, hi. I would be using the new Winsor & Newton colors, but I feel they are possibly a bit too limited for the way I want to paint this scene, so I will dig up this one. This is the usual Schminke palette. 24 plus 2 pans that I added myself. You can see that it's pretty used up in some colors. The ultramarine blue is really used up. There's not a lot left in there. I'm gonna have to refill it soon. This orange is also pretty used up. Burnt sienna. Like some colors are decently welled in. Other colors that I can't seem to use at all, like the Prussian blue, I've barely used. I don't often use bright yellows. I will most likely use yellow ochre or just a tiny bit of the yellow for things, but there's not that many unless you're painting a bunch of bananas. This color is not that digged in either. This is the PV19 one. And this one is not too deep either. Like, I've gotten more use out of the black than the Prussian blue. That says a lot. Yeah, I got a couple of tubes of Schminke Ultramarine Finest ready. They're on standby so I can refill the pan when I feel like it's time to refill it. Yeah, their Ultramarine Finest is one of the most fun to use ultramarine color. It's not granulating, not a lot. Not that I don't like granulation, but more often than not, for illustrations, you really need to know what kind of mood you want to create. So sometimes when it's something that is really stormy or a strong rocky texture, I might go for the more granulating colors, but otherwise the ultramarine finest is really nice. It's smooth, it's easy to re-wet, it has a strong color. I agree. Otto says it's the best commercially available ultramarine blue, and I'm also super picky about ultramarine, and I completely agree. If you are, hold on, let me grab it. Grab. I don't like, Daniel Smith, their French ultramarine is really annoying. Really annoying because it doesn't re-wet well at all. Yeah, paints get all sorts of dirt in it. I have my most, perhaps the only tip I can give you in regards to that is to try to keep something over your palettes at all times. And if it's a palette that doesn't have a cover, you MacGyver one. In this case, just a piece of scrap paper that I put on top of it. But yeah, otherwise, cat hairs, dust, all gets in there. So yeah, the Society for All Artists, they have this bundle that is kind of interesting for a few reasons. First of all, you get 3 20 milliliters tubes from Schminke. You get, it's 15 plus 5. You get Queen Gold Hue, Transparent Orange, and Ultramarine Finest. And these 3 colors are really nice. So it's, I also have a 15 ml tube here you can sort of see. So I grabbed this some time ago. I really like this transparent orange. It's, where's the pigment? Oh, it's PO71. Queen Gold Hue is PY150 and PR101. So these are very useful colors, and I'm really glad that they made these bigger tubes so that you don't end up buying it all the time. So I figured I would grab this. And I also have a 15 ml. I didn't know there were 20 ml tubes either. It was the first time I was seeing them on the Society saa.co.uk website. I was like, this sounds like something I would use. Yeah, I got all sorts of cat hair stuck in this palette. There's always a few. And you know, when you get something that is really dusty, either you try to pick it up from the painting if that's doable, or you can try to remove it on your rag or paper towel that you use. But I think it's okay. It's normal. If you were worried about that, don't worry. That's fine. Aw, Tsukubu. Thank you so much for finding the link, Otto. Otto has put the link to the 20 ml tubes if you are curious about checking it out. And I don't plug these things so that you go and check them out and buy them. It's just that I know I am very curious about stuff, and when weird things get mentioned, I kind of just want to go see them. Not necessarily buy them, but just see them and try to get a bit more context and, you know, figure out what it's all about. So that's why I keep mentioning stuff. It's not to flex, it's not to encourage and enable, it's just because I think this is all pretty awesome and I want to share it with you guys. Oh, that sounds awesome! Amisha says, I saw a whole video once about the weird things that are stuck in some masterpieces. Oh wow, that sounds like a really fun thing to check out. Lots of bugs and grass from plein air. That's hilarious. Can you imagine? This beautiful Monet, and there's like a bunch of grass in there and a dead bug. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Yeah, this was obviously plein air. Yep, no doubt. I don't know why I find this funny, but it is really funny to me to imagine like everyone being all like awed and humbled by this painting, like this master painting, and you look closely and there's all kind of crap glued in there. Yeah, you can really put yourself in the artist's shoes, like a painting and then some, like there's some wind and the grass goes in there and gets smushed in the paint and you're like, am I picking? No, I'm not picking that one out. Screw this. Like, to me, it kind of shows this mindset that the masters, the artists, they're not aware that they're painting masterpieces. They're just painting. And you don't do it like anybody who is consciously painting a masterpiece. To me, that's just way too weird. That's like fraudulent. It's like, no, you don't do this. This is not a process you should be this aware of. I feel like you should not be in the mindset of like, I am painting a masterpiece. You should just be like, I gotta paint. I want to paint. I'm painting. That's it. I want to paint this thing because I like it. Jackson Pollock pieces have bits of bugs that have crawled on and died in the paint and ash and all that kind of crap that an artist wouldn't make while pacing around arting, especially if you were a smoker, I guess. That's pretty cool. That's not what you see in the museum. Museum is always like pretty fancy, like everything is set up and you have a perimeter around the art. But now we know the real deal. That there's all kind of crap in there. There's a dead bug in this painting. Oh my gosh, I love this. Dude, I am like unable to paint within lines. Well, okay, I'm using a big ass brush, but still. What are lines? Really abstract concept, I guess. Yeah, well, some of the paintings, yeah, that's true. Lena says, I think some might have painted because it was their job, like the chapels. They might have been aware that this is the art that should look amazing. I agree. That's a good point. Oh, dude, tiny baby spiders are really gross. This idea of saying like this. You're like, oh, what is this weird dust pattern? Oh no, it's a bunch of baby spiders. Why? I am not enjoying this. We had a baby spider incident not long ago, and yeah, blah. Or it's like when you're painting and the teeny tiny kind of flying gnats, bugs thingies, they sort of land on your paper, and the reflex is to go, and it doesn't make for a big spot, but it still makes for a spot, and you're like, whoops, welp, this is mixed media now. I'm picturing Pollock dropping a Cheeto and leaving it there all haphazard. Your mom makes mixed media. I'm trying to encourage my mom to pick up painting regardless of all the resistance she's putting up for herself. And it's not easy. It's like, well, ultimately I cannot force her to paint, but I'm always like, stop not helping yourself, Especially with something like art. I feel like, it's not, say, being a hobbyist watchmaker. Well, you kind of need certain skills that are really, really peculiar. You need to be really meticulous. You need to be, to have a good eyesight, ideally, or, to be really patient. But the thing is that with art, you can be anything you want. Patient, impatient, meticulous. You can have terrible eyesight. You can have good eyesight. Like it doesn't matter. It's just a way to express yourself. And there are so many options in terms of mediums and surfaces, and sizes and tools, and anything goes, literally. So I really struggle with. I'm always trying to encourage her to just try and pick it up anyway, but she's gotten really good at like finding excuses to sort of keep on resisting it. And I'm like, gosh darn it. If I see spiders outside, I will leave them outside. I mean, I'm not gonna kill any bug that is outside. That's their space where they can be bugs, and it's okay for them to be bugs out there. That's where they belong. But when bugs are inside, that's another problem. That was a really bad mom insult. As far as I can tell, I think art is the most where there's a will, there's a way thing you can possibly think of. You can't force someone who doesn't truly want to paint. Yeah, I think that's the issue. But that's what kind of I'm struggling with, because like she will possibly say like, oh, I really wish I could start painting, but then reasons not to. And I'm like, And like, well, if you truly want to paint, I mean, you gotta it's either like I'm approaching this with the idea that perhaps she really wants to paint, but she doesn't realize that she still can, even if like what she is using to sort of not get started. It's okay. It's not, you don't have to know all of this or to be able to do all of this before you start painting. You can paint regardless of that. But yeah, if it's more like a case of not necessarily wanting to get started, but not being true to yourself by not recognizing that, that's not something that I can help. Oh, thank you so much, Mikey. Just don't let your mom use Cutman. I think she was considering using Cutman, but in oil paints. So that's completely out of my field of experience. So I have no idea. I was like, well, okay, sure. I don't know anything about oil paints. Yeah, they're called Winton. That's right. That's right. It's the sort of equivalent in the oil paint range. They feel okay, but I haven't used professional oil paints, so I don't know. Thanks, Dan. Alan says, Winton are pretty decent. The artist I work for as a side hustle uses them all the time. Cool. Good to know. Hey, bye Tsukabu. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great weekend. Oh no, Helen. Oh, I'm sorry you had a rough week. I could do this thing where I draw a bunch of cats, and you know the hashtags, tag yourself. It's basically you have an image with a bunch of different character or things or whatnot, and basically you identify yourself with one of them. Like I should draw like a really happy kitty, a really exhausted kitty, a really you know, all kinds of kitty, and have people tag themselves. I have a weekend off now, so I'm doing better. Oh, that's awesome. The only thing I'm really glad for is that last week, well, the only thing I'm really glad, I'm glad for a lot of things, but I'm really, really, really happy that last week we had decent temperatures. It was not insanely hot, and it didn't rain over here, so it was a really fine moment to be away with the family. Bear says, if you have cat hair in your paints and your drawings are cats, are you painting cats with cats? I think I am. I'm truly channeling cats in my painting. Yeah, it was a really awesome week of no fans, no AC, no nothing, and you could sleep at night and it would be like, what really, well, I was in Quebec, so it was around 14 14 Celsius. Like, it was cold, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is the best. Yes, give me all the cold, I'll take it. It's gonna be a bit warm this weekend, but still, I'm glad that it wasn't warm during the week as well. Yeah, it's gotten humid again, and will possibly be kind of gross and humid this weekend. I really don't mind if it's cold and rainy. I just don't like hot. I'm really gonna have to end this live stream quite soon, so I don't think I will have time to finish this painting though. There's not a lot left to do on it, like things like eye colors and perhaps add a bit of shade in some areas. Overall, it's been quite a long live stream, right? It's It's been almost 3 hours. Hey, welcome back, Heather. Heather says animals needed food, including my husband and I, so I threw a pizza in the oven. Oh no! Amisha, what? I don't think the groundhog living under my house counts as a pet, as it is entirely unwelcome there. Well, if you had a cat, it could hunt the groundhog. I know of a cat who is, you know, a hunter. Through and through a hunter. And he brings back really big praise, you know, like not just small birds and small rodents, but bigger rodents as well. And it's always a bit of a surprise to come home and see like a groundhog. Yeah, but the cat I know, first of all, he's kind of really big, and I think he's brought home a couple of groundhogs, which is surprising because you're like, whoa, that's a big thing to carry home. And it always cracks me up because I think the thing with cats bringing home the prey is that they are sort of showing you how to hunt. So I always imagine that the cat is like, dude, my human is so bad at hunting. He never brings home anything. They eat whatever weird stuff they have in this big box thingy that is cold, and they give me like dry, pebbly food, but they never hunt anything. I gotta show them how to do it. And then bring back prey, and they're like, see, that's what you bring home. That's what you need. And you're like, whoa. Whoa. Oh, poor baby. Oh wow, that's a really big groundhog. But yeah, I think the cat in question possibly has some Norwegian forest cat in him. Possibly, like, he looks like one of those bigger breeds. Yeah, the cats and the dogs have it pretty easy. Like my cats, they're basically like, wow, that's really cool. The weird things with two legs, they dig in this cupboard that we can open, and they come out with stuff we can eat that is delicious. Like, I wonder if they always feel like they're eating McDonald's to them. Because it's, you know, it's not raw, it doesn't have any weird bits in it, it doesn't taste weird. It's just like all of the goods. It's like if we could eat only bacon and be fine with it. I gotta send you a picture of the cat I'm speaking of, Otto. I think you will like. I drew him, I think, in part of my past Instagram picture. It's a big floofy gray cat. Alright, so I'm gonna have to log off and get some chores done. I didn't see the time and I was busy painting, and then now I've looked at the clock and I'm like, yikes, I gotta run. So quick recap as usual, we swatched a bunch of paints and pencils, and I want to thank you guys for indulging me in this sort of showcase of paints and swatches. And then I doodled something based on the cats I saw while I was on vacation. And that's basically what went on today. I want to say a great big thank you to Otto and Heather again for being my moderators. Otto is always on point with the links, so awesome. If you don't follow Otto, by all means, please go check her channel. Everything watercolor, everything like art, and super inspiring, and she's super awesome, so please go check it out if you haven't already. I have a Discord server, the link is in the description below. Basically, Discord is this big platform for chatting. You can create an account, you log on there, and there are many sort of chat rooms, and that's basically where we hang out during the week and we talk paint, pets, all kinds of stuff, and we have a great time there. So if you want to keep the discussion going and keep on talking about paints and stuff, you can go check it out. It's free, it's fun. Just a quick last look at the chat. Hey, Foxy Roxy, hi! Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream. And yep, that's pretty much what's going on today. So have a really good weekend, guys, and we will see each other quite soon. And by all means, probably next Saturday for another Caturday livestream. So take care, have a great weekend, and I'm really sorry I couldn't show the cats, but they're fast asleep. So hopefully next time they will be more of a good co-hosts than they were today. Bye bye.